All right, welcome everyone to 1v1 Hoops, $100 tonight. Huge bracket. There's 38 players. This tournament's gonna take so long. There's gonna be a lot of great Hoops plays. I'm excited to see. First off, we've got Alicia versus Sinks. I have not seen either of these players on stream, so these 1v1 tournaments are a nice opportunity to see what these guys can pull off. Early on, though, I think this is going to be a pretty even match, though. I'm joined here with Tryhouse over on the twitch.tv Tryhouse channel. Try, how are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm very confused by Alicia's car, but you know what? I'm here for it. Hoops, you will see Hoops players use wacky cars. So I believe this is number 15 and number 18 seed in this tournament. Oof. And so for a first round matchup, this is probably going to get as spicy as we can. It's set to a best of 7. No, it's a best of 3.
That's mine. My bad.
Oh, okay.
My overlay, for some reason, it's automatic and it's great, except the very first game shows up as a best of 7. But it's just a best of 3, trust me. Sinks gets first blood here, getting the counterattack. Every time, watch that ball bounce off of the net on the other side. Anytime that happens, it's like a guaranteed goal for the defender. They are able to use that bounce perfectly for a dribble. Oh, yeah. It's just like almost passing straight to the opposition. Is so dangerous. However, the boop tip-off goes right in, tying the game.
And that's very funny that happens to Sinks, because he is a veteran Hoops player here. He definitely knows how to counter those, and I'm surprised he gets caught off guard.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But I mean, a lot of Hoops players, even the best, they go for super lazy kickoffs. I don't know why, but here we go again. This time,
Alicia not afraid to run it back.
Yeah.
Goes for the boop again. Definitely, he's gonna have Sinks on his toes.
Oh, that's super close, but yeah, you can see exactly the risk and the danger of what position that set up Alicia in. However, it's right off the rim. Super close, going both ways so far, but that touch right now not going to serve Alicia super well. No touch there either, so Sinks is going to have a full boost tank, ready to go the whole distance. Just a 50 and more threats onto the orange nut. Nothing yet, although this dribble looks dangerous. Maybe reset. Yeah. He's going for it, just backing up, and that's going to be good enough.
Sinks, I think, got a little ballsy going for this touch here. Definitely, he had the perfect pop. This was already on target. I'm surprised he didn't start headhunting, going for a bump, because Alicia is just a little faster that ball. That's an easy clear.
Yeah, here we go from the off center. Oh, do it again. Another boop. This time it's not going to work.
There we go.
2 all in. Sinks learns the lesson the 3rd time.
Yeah, only took him 3 tries there, but he finally punishes Alicia for this boop kickoff. I also think she probably didn't have her best version of the kickoff there. You could see that really late adjustment there towards the end, and I think it just nerfed her a little bit.
Oh, that's also another boop attempt, but this time Alicia's not going to be too bad off. Collecting the boost, going for the straight shot. It's going to be a floaty one. Should be defensible, but Sinks has to avoid the bump first. Gets that one. The boost taken away by Alicia. Moments before that, defense is not going to work. Just the missed shot there for Sinks is going to win Alicia the boost as well. Another 50-50 dangerously going close to the blue net. But a lot of action so far early on this game. You'll love to see it. 4 goals in just a couple of minutes. And that's going to go back for Sinks here. A full tank. Oh, dangerous. No, he's missed it.
And he bricks the shot, giving Alicia the opening. And Alicia with a little bit of a panic aerial there. Oh, wow. This is not the best Hoops we've seen in the last 20 seconds. There we go. Finally a good counterattack and a great save by Sinks. Had a couple panic plays back to back to back there, but now we're starting to see some great shots on nets and even better saves.
I think it's much harder to try to set some sort of offense up against someone who is well positioned on defense. It's way harder to do that. What? A little bit of a team play. Sinks able to get a goal thanks to an own goal there from Alicia, sniping the shot. I mean, that's a great shot if it wasn't.
This is a good shot. I just don't see any way that goes in. It definitely could have bailed out of that shot at any moment, but I like the commitment.
I got a chatter saying, is there more tournaments after this? Oh, wait, that's from yours. I see your little picture there. Unfortunately, this is the only Ranked Hoops tournament, but we do these tournaments every week on Sunday starting at 7 p.m. However, the 1v1 tournaments are only on the last Sunday of the month. And next week we got a free-for-all. They call it World Cup. And it's so exciting to watch that. It's a little bit scuffed to try to make the bracket, but having 8 players all on their own trying to score goals against what could be 7 defenders is so cool.
Yeah, the shared chat thing, definitely going to take some getting used to. if you guys are watching on either one of our streams, you can chat, I guess, technically to all of us or to everybody in both chats. And Alicia has definitely had some good touches here, but the inconsistency is starting to get her punished. As Sinks is, the calmer Sinks is, the easier the counterattacks are looking for him.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Sinks, he's starting to slow things down. He kind of knows if he can get into some sort of dribble play, Alicia's going to really struggle with that. Alicia, I think, maybe is better served trying to defend some backboard stuff, go back to the really common ground in hoops. But Sinks is going to be able to snipe a 6th goal here. We are set up for the traditional Brazil goal, but that's a crazy shot going backwards to start off with.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Good recovery from Sinks. That is not the potato plays we're used to seeing from Sinks. Sorry, I have a bit of a rivalry with Sinks. He tries to beat me in viewer 1v1s every week, so I'm a little salty.
Oh, yeah.
Every single week. It's great. It's great for my self-esteem. But we could talk a little bit about the rest of this bracket, considering this game 1 is looking like it is definitely going in the way of Sinks.
Oh yeah, there goes goal number 7. Absolutely savage. So Sinks looks like he's got this one locked down.
That's how we spell Brazil.
That's right. So
let me take a look at the bracket real fast. I know we've got Forky in here.
Yeah, that's right. No Ian tonight.
Rhyolite.
Mystical as well.
Ian.
No Ian. It's just Panda. But Panda has won the last like 4-ish 1v1 tournaments if you include the free-for-all one. So Panda might have been favored over Ian anyway. But yeah, a lot of really, really good entrants. I mean, it feels like all the players we already mentioned could take down Panda, but Panda is the one you expect to have the edge. But it's about the quantity over quality a little bit, right? Because if you know, how many times do you think Panda can beat Forky, Mystical, Rhyolite? Like all those players are so good that Panda could beat any one of those individually in a series, but you line up 3 or 4 of those series in a row, he might struggle.
Yeah, we've got some other veterans, at least to ones like Drago. He's SSL and hoops at any given moment as well. So there's several people in here that are SSL caliber hoops players. Taibu, of course, one of the favorites in the ranked hoops community. Also, Taibu getting himself an RLCS point last qualifier.
Oh yeah.
So we have quite the representation from the hoops community in the quals.
That's deadly.
Did Sinks just pull out a flip reset
He certainly did. Watch this. Just very calm going up this. It's really like no rush whatsoever, waiting for someone to block, waiting for Alicia to block, and then just landing that flip reset, having loads of boost left over too. So he did that as cold and calculated as possible, and it just looks so dangerous. Anytime you can hold on to that flip until your opponent attacks you, and then you can use it to good effect, you just know you've got a winning shot.
And I remember when those metas were just evolving in the hoops community, like the big $5,000 1v1 tournament we held years ago. It was like, I mean, there was only a couple players that were consistently going for flip resets and in matches, and a couple of them are in this tournament now. Taibu, Forky, those guys. But now you're seeing that extend all the way through the ranks. Like the flip reset and 1v1s is becoming really dangerous in hoops.
Yeah. Well, I hate to be Alicia right now, but Sinks takes that handily. We go into game 2. So this is a best of 3. Now, I know you and I have both seen plenty of situations, plenty of series where a player gets double digits and then just gets smoked in the next match. That easily could be the case, but I do think that Sinks has the upper hand with that kind of ball control. Those dribbles are looking just downright deadly.
And something not going in Alicia's favor here is Sinks was looking more composed as the match was progressing too. He actually looked really panicky in the beginning, but he seems like he's taking a breath.
Right.
And we saw that last flip reset play. He had all the space he needed to get the job done. So we'll see if Alicia can use that brief break to recompose and try to make a counterattack.
All right, so we're in the block. I always set it to random, and then every time I have to set a new matchup, it switches it back to Dunkhouse. So if it just shows up as Dunkhouse only, that's my bad. In case you tryouts go off and start watching your own series or making them, I guess you'd have to make the lobbies something to watch out for. I just like seeing the variety a little bit. I guess maybe they're waiting for us to tell them to go. But I do like seeing the variety. The dunk house is just so orange, but it's what everyone's used to. So we still got to go back to that for the familiarity, but the block looks so good.
The only problem I have with the block is, from a player's perspective, is that the colors are so saturated. Every now and then I will lose sight of name tags. And that's definitely a skill issue on my part, but it still happens, and the block's been out for 2 years now, so it's something that just doesn't happen to me in Dunk House. But aesthetically, the block is a beautiful beautiful arena.
Remember what I said about having the ball bounce off of the rim? Sinks is able to use that to just put one shot on target. That's all he needed. Alicia, having just made the touch that went off the net, is going to be all the way on the wrong side. It's so dangerous. That's why it's so much harder to set something up. If you miss, you expect that to be a guaranteed counterattack goal the other direction. But Sinks is able to put really good attacking ideas accurately on without being counterattacked against. So he's looking really good here. But that is so close. Trying to read the rim. He's going to have another opportunity.
Good hustle.
Not there. He's going to try again.
Yeah, now
third time's a charm.
Now he's getting ballsy here. You can only take so many pop shots on the net like that before you're out of boost and your opponent has got a full keg. So,
here we go.
Here he is again.
Reset.
This should be
just one touch. That's all he needs, though.
Yeah, and see, that's key. If you guys are trying to get better at hoops ones, just look at how close Sinks is to this ball. Like, he can always have another touch if he needs it, or he can just go for a straight 50 down. So Alicia just has to go put a hand up there to try to do something, and that's when Sinks can lay down that last touch, and really nothing you can do about that there.
Yeah, we're going to try to answer some chat questions too. Yeah, these are open and available to all regions, but the server preference is going to favor the North American players just from quantity of North American players. However, if you and your opponent are both European, we will go to a European server. That's no problem. Sinks gonna tuck another one in from the ground. No touch there from Alicia, going all the way around the ball a couple times, but in the end, it just very slowly drifts into the net.
You know, I've got a question. I know last time you and I cast one of these 1v1 tournaments, you were talking about the rise of the European players in hoops. Is there any update there? Or,
we had
any progress made? When
that last RLCS event was happening, there were more European players than North American players in our last hoops tournament, so that's a little bit exciting. But it's still usually just Renshiro and Finchy in like the finals, in the lower finals or the grand finals showing up. So the European players are getting more numerous, and I think that is the first step before they become more dominant.
Yeah, what's crazy is like y'all's stream time for Europeans is super late, so the fact that there's any traction growing there is nice.
It is a little bit regrettable. I would like to play around with some different times for tournaments, but this is like the time that everyone kind of knows. So I'm nervous because as soon as we have a tournament that starts at like 2 p.m. on a Saturday or something like that would be greater for European players. Like everyone's gonna forget, and the tournament's just gonna pass by, and no one joins.
Also, I'm sure you guys are seeing an uptick with the 1v1 tournaments just because they're consistent every month now. Because for a while there, it was only like, what was it? It was like 5th tournament of the month. If there was like an extra day of that month or something, we would do 1v1s.
I think if it's every 5th, that means there's 3 tournaments that are going to be like that. But having it be the last Sunday of every month, of course, that means there's 12 1v1 tournaments. And we still want it to be like, Ranked Hoops was founded on the basis of like, we'll make the hoops competitive. Because back then it was unranked, and so people would join in and they would just leave. You get a bot joined as your teammate. Ooh. It was like the worst thing. But now that it's competitive, like it just brings a different kind of element to the game. I like the usage of the ceiling there, throwing Sinks up, almost getting the dunk straight down. That's super hard to pull that angle off. But you got to credit Alicia for trying these crazy angles, these crazy ideas out of desperation. You have to do something, or the game is just going to be
honestly,
lost.
She's playing better now too. Like she's playing a little bit faster, a little bit more unhinged. But I'd say it's serving her pretty well.
Yeah, if these start to fall in,
a lot of reps here.
These shots from Alicia start to fall in that are like really hard to pull off, but really also hard to save, then Sinks might be in trouble. But he's going to have a couple of touches here, tucking it into the corner. No save available. Sinks going coast to coast, backboard to backboard, all the way into the opposite corner.
Look at in the That was such a good flip off the wall to extend, because that ball got really far away from him there. And I can speak from personal experience. That is very difficult to get that cancel off the wall all the way extended like that. Very well done by Sinks. That's a very clean shot.
Yeah.
And if you guys are trying to get good at ones, that right there, or 1v1 hoops, very hard to defend, and you will find that your opponents often doubt your ability to go the full length of the court like that.
Sinks getting the full boost going around the corner means the counterattack's going to be swift. Just a 50-50 going down. Alicia, no touch there means the Sinks has a difficult shot ahead of him. But we've seen Sinks try lots of those close to the net shots, being successful maybe once or twice. Trying to think of how Sinks can move this kind of momentum onto future games, because the games only get harder from here. Going further into the tournament, we've already mentioned some of the fierce competition. Sinks is going to have to use those dribbles, those really calm, slow dribbles where he changes it up the last second. He's going to have to use those to great effect, but he does tuck that one in right from above the rim, right to the backboard with no defense here available. Full tank, but really just a 50-50 serving him well.
Yeah, I can already tell you who his next opponent is. He is going to be playing the legend himself, Taibu.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty hard matchup for Sinks there. Is Volt MSU the Volt that Hoops Volt?
He's got to be. Our HoopSpot recognized him, so I can't think of who a different Volt it could be. Because Voltic Vibes is also in this tournament, and so it's not that Volt.
Yeah, because that might be a pretty good matchup there. We've got Volt versus Archie next round. Mystical versus Smook. Waffle versus Tiny Koi. I know that's going to be a competitive match.
Yeah.
And it looks like Panda is still in his first round, too. Whoever wins that, presumably Panda, is going to be going against Voltic Vibes.
Right. Alicia's on the board, setting up for the Brazil, though. You hate to see that. But Sinks is going to have the reset, rolling it up here. Oh, gets bumped into it. That would have been so cool, because he would have had the flip reset to try to some way redirect that one back into the net. But that is how the game is going to end. So at least on rank 2, so we're going to be moving to watch Waffle versus Tiny Koi. Tryouts, are you going to be joining us for that, or do you want to go watch like Volt versus Archie?
You know what? You know what? Let's let the chat decide. We got enough time, right? Oh no, I think they just started their match. Volt versus Archie just started. I didn't. I'm new to this. I didn't reserve it in time, so that's already starting. You could
still dive into that match if you're quick, and you could catch the very beginning. Everyone, this is not the match we thought we were going to be watching. Instead, we were diving into EQ versus Drago. I completely missed that we had a DQ. I'm so used to, like, by the time it gets to that point that all the DQs are kind of taken care of, but this match has already started. This should be round 1 or game 1 in a best of 3. I'll get the overlay updated in a second, but it's Drago in the orange colors versus EQ. Now, EQ, I've seen EQ play in Meals' stream, even played against EQ in some of Meals' 1v1. So EQ is a super good 1v1 player, and that's going to just roll in. It's a close matchup, just a goal separating them, but 7 goals in 2 minutes is kind of absurd.
This is a textbook hoops move here.
Yeah, just sit on it.
Puts the shot on goal, not with a lot of power, but it's the follow through on the shot, covering your shots that is so key in these 1v. I mean, hoops in general, but particularly effective in ones.
Yeah, absolutely. EQ though, where I would be scared is these kinds of dribbles, but one kind of goes off course, and that's just a disaster. Wow. Oh, Drago just snipes that one away. Almost looks like an intentional pass from EQ, setting it right to him on a silver platter and not being able to get the block.
Yeah, I wonder if he just didn't have proper eyes on Drago there. And I mean, Drago was parked on the sidewall basically, and that ball just got just a hair out of his reach. Super easy for Drago to get that shot down.
Yeah, Drago though. Oh, gonna get blocked here. Lots of boosts for both players. That's gonna go off of the corner, but Drago is set up here for the shot. Tucks it in. Look at that angle. I did not think that was possible. Starting off, as soon as Drago jumped, I'm like, EQ is gonna be able to cover absolutely everything, but he found it with a massive pre-flip.
Yeah, look how clean that flip cancel was all the way through that. Like, this is what I was talking about with Drago. I said, like, he's got some real pop-off potential here. I don't know if he's got the reps in hoops 1v1s necessarily, but I have watched the evolution of Drago for years now, and he's got a very high ceiling.
Oh yeah. Drago, for sure. Drago especially likes the 1v1s. I've seen Drago a couple times in the 2v2 tournaments, but where he shines for sure is the kind of 1v1 strategy of outplaying his opponents by baiting them in and then just taking the pot shot from flicks. Drago's mix-ups, super dangerous. Kind of like this, he just goes all the way barreling into the corner for the boost, but that almost sets him up. He doesn't get a touch, though. And so now it's just a dunk here from EQ. And the game remains pretty close. Just a couple of goals, but that's easy to make up in 1v1.
And we've got an all hoops car here from EQ. We got the hoops wheels, the hoops stopper, and a hoops antenna.
Yeah.
Like, just man knows ball, I guess.
That's right. Oh, so these tip-offs still feel like they're pretty exploitable, but it just is a question of if someone knows how to do the boot. Drago gonna sit on top of it and force the ball directly downward on a 70km/h shot straight to the floor. If you have like a higher ping, that would have bounced off of the floor for sure.
Yeah, and Drago, he's just so quick at reading these plays. Like we were watching it from his POV. He was right there, made a last-second adjustment on that 50, knowing it was going to dunk straight down.
Yeah. Ooh, EQ.
What decal is this Drago's got on? I
don't know.
It's chameleon or I don't.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to look at, just the sides. Ooh, that they call it a zap dash, I guess. Doesn't really count, I guess, if you got it off of a 50-50. But if we do see Forky tonight, guaranteed he's going to be pulling some of those tricks off. That's one of the coolest things that you can do in Rocket League that's kind of new to the scene. Have you seen it, Tryhouse? You know what a zap dash is?
People talk about it, and I just nod my head and smile.
You know what a chain wave dash is on the wall, right? Mm-hmm. It's like that, but on the floor. So like you wave dash in a way that like rocks your car back and forth and lets you continue to like wave dash a couple more times. Drago, wow. Getting it from all the way across the corner, beeline to the net, and the defense is not very cozy there for EQ, trying to guard this from right underneath the rim. Doesn't get you the jump you want.
Yeah, no Ian tonight, Enforcer. Enforcer, where are you at in the bracket?
He didn't like the 1v1 tournaments.
Oh, really?
I feel like the same way as Enforcer, where like I play so much worse in 1v1. I feel like my strengths are primarily like analyzing the battlefield when there's a lot of players and seeing what kind of levers you can use in a team sense. But in 1v1, paddling your own canoe, if you make any minor mistake in precision, it immediately comes back crashing down on you. And so those players that are just so precise are going to be much better served.
Yeah, while we were going through that, EQ did have a moment to get a shot on net and uncharacteristic miss, I'm going to say, but with a 4-goal deficit, this game 1 might already be over. And by might, I mean most likely. Yeah, it's done.
That was a dangerous skim, though. Drago reading that is saying a lot, I think. I feel like almost everyone would misread that tiny bounce and have the ball drift over them in the slowest, saddest way possible. Drago's just going to hold on. He uses the reset off of the rim to scoop it around. The game knowledge from this player is striking right now. That's got to be scary to go against.
Yeah, Drago, he's looking in very good form right now. And Drago's like, his play style, I'm going to say, is like mechanical chaotic. Because it's like he's got mechanics, and then sometimes he just monkeys around the court, and it could be very hard to read as an opponent. And so when he pops off with like flip resets and stuff, it's almost unexpected.
That's a really like hard thing to deal with when you are against an opponent that you know for sure they can go for the super long distance double reset kind of shot, but then if you have your back turned, they're just gonna bam, take one shot and shoot it right into your net if they think that's more likely to score. EQ hanging out on top of the rim for the tip off. I don't like that strategy that much, but it is hilarious when it does work.
That's an actual strategy people try?
No, it's a strategy people try when they're messing around. Maybe EQ already feels like the battle has been lost, but I feel like when it's 0-0 at the beginning of the game, that's the most chance you have of getting a good head start. And if you're going to give up, maybe give up halfway through when it truly has been lost, not when you're just psychologically losing.
Oh, yeah, people go over the rim sometimes on kickoffs. I still have not tried that myself, and that is a well-placed shot by Drago. EQ basically had this pre-jumped, and Drago Drago punishes hard right here. Yeah, as soon as EQ goes up, he knows right where to put that shot. Right in there in the square.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like those kinds of shots, it's just you're always thinking to yourself, what's the highest percentage? And if the highest percentage is you going all the way across in some super long distance dribble, then you go for that. But in Drago's case here, you know, if you just put the ball right above your opponent's noggin, and you can go much higher than they can pre-jump, that's also going to be really, really strong. Not a great move in 2s, but in 1v1, it is, you know, all you got to do is beat one player and you're good.
Yeah, EQ's got a spot here. Has the right idea. I think the execution just wasn't able to follow through because took that right over Drago, couldn't get over the net. EQ's got another attempt. It's going to be an awkward bouncing. Drago with a backwards pinch. EQ could get a dunk here, and what a save from Drago, keeping it out of his net.
Yeah, but EQ barely running out of boost. EQ was first to the air and not able to pinch that and push it downward before Drago could get there. And Drago's super late, but just the boost situation, it makes you wonder, you know, if that were me, I'm like, did I waste boost somewhere? Did I use it inefficiently because I really needed it in that situation? But we're still pretty close. The last game also started pretty close, and then Drago just started scoring relentlessly, but he hasn't found a whole lot of ground right now. That is going to be a great start, though, on the counterattack. Over to the backboard, needs one more touch to finish this, and he's going to have it.
Does host have control over ads on join? You should disable that if you can. Ads on, what do you mean?
I think it's on my stream. That's a good question. Ads on join is like if a new viewer comes in, right, and then they immediately get an ad.
Pre-roll.
I don't know.
I've got pre-rolls should be disabled.
So I guess I didn't disable it on ranked hoops. Oh, that's painful, though. Watch Drago just getting the shot off on the tip-off. So this is going to be really common in 1v1, is going for that fake, the Spanish tip-off in the corner. In hoops, I don't like it because if the ball bounces off of the rim, sure, you have a full tank of boost, but you got to read that. Otherwise, you're giving a massive advantage over to your opponent. I've seen so many goals just very sadly be direct shots, not defended whatsoever. I think the statistics would agree with me. Oh, the reset, though, still going to get saved by Drago. 12 boost, has just a chance to save it, and he doesn't have it. EQ on the board. That's a sick reset. And that's all it took. Drago double jumping there, had just the 12er. It's not going to cut it. So that's got to feel pretty good here for EQ. But the tip-offs, I think that's the thing I'm worried the most about with EQ. Did I lose you, Try? I think he might be muted. Ooh, dribble here from EQ. Dropping down. It's Drago pinching that one away. Drago holding the line. Lifts it up, but it just gets sniped by EQ. And Drago could have no dribble there. Just a shot from EQ, but maybe that's just what Drago wants. Push it back the other direction. Launch across all the way for Drago. Oh, the pre-flip into the shot would have been really sick, but I don't know if that angle is possible. And honestly, if you're going to take a shot on an impossible angle, you just gotta, I think you just don't take it. If it's going to bounce off of the rim or the net, that's going to be so much worse for you in the long run. Ooh, the redirect off the top of the rim. He doesn't have it. He's going to go back down to the ground. The demo might open things up here for EQ. Needs every single goal from here on. No, Drago gets the save after the respawn. That is insane. Immediately knowing to turn straight after that. Dig it out. EQ's going to have another opportunity, but doesn't get the lift, so just going to go over here to the sidewall. Drago, a single shot. It's just a buy boost, just to stall for time. Here's Drago again. No block. It's just going to go straight in. Double taps it in. What a series of events here for Drago. Saving a really hard shot, getting demoed, saving it again, and then eventually turning it into a goal. That's kind of insane.
Sorry about that. Ralph
all good.
Just got rated by Top Gun 7.
Yo, shout out to Top Gun.
So, yeah, sorry. So the raid message probably came through in your chat, and you're like, what the heck?
No.
But I was like, Ralph's used to casting this stuff by himself. He's got this. And as soon as I come back, it looks like Drago is killing any hope of a comeback here because this was 1-3 when I first undeafened, but now 1-5 with a minute 17 seconds left. This is looking like game 2 is going to go to Drago. But you're right, EQ does have some hoops 1v1 skill.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Drago to make top 3 in this tournament.
Right. If you're looking at like, you know, Rhyolite, Mystical, Panda, Taibu, Drago's gonna have a hard time getting the top 3, but it is possible with his kind of trickery. It'd just be a super hard-fought victory for him.
Yeah, or at least take a game off of one of those guys. Like I think he's got some real upside potential. If he is feeling it. If he's not feeling it, definitely nowhere close. But
did you notice
we love
that on that last goal that Drago scored? He goes for the tip-off, sees that EQ is faking it, and he just goes back down to the ground and then goes for a dribble kind of play. That's something that Nico really likes to do. And so you see players once in a while just try to control the ball against a full boost opponent. But if you've got the dribble, you can certainly put some really nasty shots on. So that's another thing you can kind of expect. It doesn't ever happen like the first time a tip-off is fake, but every time after that, there's always that risk.
Yeah, and Drago is just so adaptable. I want to say Drago was like used to play on console or something, and then once he got to PC, it was just the growth just exploded.
Yeah.
Here we go. One for the road. Nope, I don't think it's quite going to do it. It's got the tip in. Never mind. Don't count him out. 1-6. Drago winning this series in style.
Yeah, that's so sick. That angle does not feel possible, but I love the way he boosted towards the middle, had to rotate his car around 180 degrees so that when he front flips, the front of his car just barely tips that in. That's so good.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's something like, it's super risky. Nike. Especially in like 2v2 scenarios, if you've got somebody on the other side just waiting, like you can get easily punished.
Hey, welcome back. So I thought this match is concluded, but it looks like it's still going. I don't know if this is game 2. It looks like it's probably game 3. CMYK has equalized things, and it's a tip-off that goes in for Mystical. So I'm going to update the overlay for that. I'm pretty sure it's 1-1. No idea what the last game looked like, but I wish I had dived into this sooner. I just saw the scores updated and assumed it was over.
Yeah, and for somebody to be putting on a competitive battle for CMYK, you know, CMYK's got a lot of experience in hoops, especially ones. Oh, but he gives that right over to Mystical. Experience not showing there, as that touch did not go in favor of Smook. Just didn't get the pop on it I think he was hoping for. I think he was already looking too far down the court, looking for that bump before he had enough power on the shot.
Yeah. That dribble, too, was really smooth from Mystical, having just enough boost to get there, getting the double touch, sending it away from CMYK. It says volumes. Oh, and the boop tip-off as well. Just going to deflect outside, but that's so dangerous nonetheless. But Mystical having that kind of confidence is really speaking volumes about this player's skill level.
Yeah, and now it's, you know, CMYK's got the comeback potential here, but with 40 seconds left, is, you know, it's like he's in a 1v2 versus Mystical and the clock.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, good challenge here from Mystical. Ooh. That's going to skip off the rim. And Mystical not letting up. He's going to get the redirect. And CMYK with good patience there on defense gets a solid clear, but 30 seconds left.
Oh, hold on. Oh, it's right off the rim. That'd been so sick if he actually got that to work, because he came off the ceiling. Instead, he's going all the way back to his half, and he has to double back for the save.
Oh my gosh, Mystical's got to be devastated.
I think
that was a psycho that.
Did he get stuck on the rim? He's spamming no. Where is he?
Yeah, he was spamming no because that was a psycho. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, it was some crazy shot for sure. But I mean, that's you expect CMYK to save that.
Yeah, that was a good hustle there by the old man CMYK.
Yeah, the just 7 seconds here for him to try to make this comeback happen. So he's got to have one last opportunity on offense. He's attacked this as Mystical just holding on to the ball, keeping it on the floor. A little bit BM, but that is going to get Mystical, I think, the series win. The players all abandon the lobby, so that means Mystical's moving on, and we're going to catch his next game as well against Rhyolite. Rhyolite versus Mystical in a best of 3. The winner of this goes to the semifinals. Sorry about the overlay. It says quarterfinals. I forgot. This is such a big tournament. A lot of DQs though, but it is just the quarterfinals still. Whole lot of tournament left to go. But this match right here is going to be the one to watch out of the ones still going on. Mystical is going to take this shot on no boost, of course. He easily could try to turn that ball over to the full boost, but he is going to get rewarded for the full boost. That's something you always got to think about in ones, is like if you take the shot even on 0 boost, you're going to have plenty of time to go and get that full boost. Mystical gets the double tap, sending it down. Rhyolite left in the dust. He is so late to try to save this.
Yeah, this is, I don't think he was expecting such an immediate shot on net there from Mystical, but definitely Mystical. This is what you want to do if you're Mystical. Come out here hot. You just got off of a win. You need to, because I would say Rhyolite is a pretty significant increase in skill over our friend CMYK. So you're going to see Rhyolite adapt a little bit quicker to the style of play. And as soon as I say it, Mystical rinse and repeat the double touch.
Yeah.
Just getting physical there. That little bump just slowed Rhyolite down enough to where he wasn't able to get back in time for this.
It speaks again to, like, if the ball bounces to the middle of the court from a backboard, from the rim, from the nets, it gives the defender of that last shot just all kinds of openings, and these players rarely miss those shots, those opportunities like that, and they're so good they can kind of catch the ball from over their shoulder and turn it into a dribble play, some sort of double touch, or even a dunk off the backboard. He's going to try it again here. That's not going to be an easy angle, though. He has to give up on this play, but he has to give up in a way that doesn't put the counterattack for Rhyolite. Instead, it's going to be exactly that. Rhyolite turns it right around. This desperate block here from Mystical, there's just nothing he could do, but it's just everyone knows it's over at that point.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you got to do. Like, you got to go just try to block what you think is the most accurate or the most likely shot that they're going to put down. But Rhyolite, I mean, he put some heat on it. That said 72 miles per hour, and you know, the hoop's shot speed isn't very accurate. So it's probably even faster than that.
Oh. What is he going to do off the ceiling? He's going to take the direct shot. It's so close. Mystical has to double jump to collect that. He's going to be on 0 boost as Rhyolite takes away the corner as well, and he knows it. Mystical knows it. Still the block is made. Rhyolite steals the other corner boost. Ready for round 2 on this. And Mystical, he's got nothing in the tank. Still gets the block. Poor guy. Wow. He's just got a 12er, but finally pushes forward. He's able to take the boost. Can he turn it into a shot? Oh, it's so close, but it's off the rim. That's insane. What a heroic save. Double save even. On no boost, just to turn it around for a snapshot, and it's inches away from being successful.
Yeah, this is a very good showing here from Mystical on defense. You know, a lot of people would be like just panicking and throwing themselves at the ball here, but Mystical, nice and composed, even with Rhyolite putting down all these shots on net. And he is still holding on to the lead here. Rhyolite, he's up, trying to get over Mystical, and another good save. Rhyolite not able to get that one up high enough. That's a shot on net, just over the rim.
Did you see that? I thought for sure he was bonking.
Yeah, exactly.
I flinched.
When you took that deep breath, yeah. It's like a hoops nightmare.
I was ready for it.
That exact
I don't know if your camera was watching Rhyolite, but I know, like, he can't see it. Is he gonna hit it or not?
Exactly.
Holy smokes.
Very good placement there, and we're approaching halftime, and as quick as those first couple goals were scored, it has been a battle of defense here this last minute or so. Here we go. Trying to get a pinch off the net.
Those so rarely work, and especially off of the side, it's maximum desperation. It gives Rhyolite the ball immediately for a counterattack, so I would definitely steer away from that. If you have the ball and you're pushing deep into your opponent's territory, into the corners, like, your best bet is just to try to 50 it and make sure you've got a full tank to try to defend that. But the offensive opportunities, most likely already a foregone conclusion. You just got to hold on.
All right. Okay. I like that. See, I'm writing stuff down here, Rolf. That's good. Good to know. Don't get desperate and try to pinch it off the net.
When they eventually give us Hoops 1v1 ranked, we'll be so ready to go to get all the way to SSL. But that day might not come until Rocket League 2 or 3 or whatever, however they're going to count that. Do you think there is ever going to be
an LTM? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hold on. That was so sick. Rhyolite. He pinched it into the, or he gets it off of the ceiling and then pinches it into the backboard with the flip. How did he get there so fast?
And that he was calm all the way through that entire sequence, and that is how you equalize a goal here. But I think you called it, Rolf. This is definitely the most high-octane match we've got so far.
I think the player most versed in, like, the hoops, like, ceiling kind of plays is definitely Ian. Ian uses those uses the ceiling opportunities to try to shoot it at the front of the net rather than getting it over to the backboard. But Rhyolite might be a second place contender here, and there's no Ian tonight, so if Rhyolite can really use those ceiling opportunities to put the ball into dangerous situations, I mean, he might be a real contender for first place. He does have to take down the likes of Panda and Taibu, who've seen everything because they have to play against Ian or with Ian on a regular basis. But I just love to see those like brand new ideas formed in the hoops court.
What a save by Rhyolite. I didn't think he was going to get back there in time. Here we go.
Boom.
And that is a lead. Mystical didn't even look like he was going back on defense.
He knew.
Yeah.
It's over. Yeah. The way that was just going to bounce perfectly for Rhyolite. There's nothing Mystical can do to get back in time.
Yeah, and see, I said it. Mystical's had to come out hot and get that lead early, because you will see somebody of Rhyolite's caliber adjust very quickly. There we go. Good kickoff from Rhyolite. Uses the flip reset to get back to that 100 boost. It's going to go coast to coast here, but not the touch he was looking for, or just a little further out of his reach than he anticipated.
You see how
he's taking it back to his half. You
see how Rhyolite, when he was on that attack and he saw the ball was going to bounce off of the net, he had an opportunity to go for the pinch, but instead he just withdrew. I think that's exactly the right move. You go back for a boost, the opponent waiting in the defense. They're not sure if you're going to pinch it, so they have to wait and see what you're going to do. But that has got to be the right move instead of going for some sort of desperation pinch. Double reset here available for Mystic. It's so close, but he had to turn just the right way and maybe get a little bit lucky, because I feel like that when you jump off of the ball, like anything could happen with your car's suspension. Instead, Rhyolite's going to get a shot here off of the rim where the clock is ticking down. Mystical, this might be his last chance. He's only on a half a tank. He needs to flick this around Rhyolite. Instead, he's going to go for the fake, but Rhyolite can land just right on top of it. And so that might just be how this game ends, in just a sputter. If Rhyolite can hold on to the ball, let it tap down, get a bump onto Mystical even, or just get the take over into the corner. No, he set Mystical up. Mystical gonna go for the double touch. Psycho angle, it's so close. If that was on target, Rhyolite could not save that. Do you agree?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And Rhyolite almost kept it up there off the Psycho attempt. And then, you know, he senses came back to him and he let that one touch ground. But yeah, 3-2. Now we're starting to get some interesting matchups here that, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Mystical take a game off Rhyolite here.
Yeah,
which, you know,
I mean, it was close, yeah. And there's something so beautiful about, like, in the final seconds, the clock hits 0, you've got some desperation, some terrible angle you have to line up, and Mystical is so close to lining that up, but he would have been a legend in the dunk house if he could have pulled that angle off. That'd been so sweet. But
yeah, we're
it doesn't always work out.
Not afraid to go for that type of stuff.
But it's like, it feels like those kind of situations where you only have one shot, one prayer to make it work. It happens way too frequently. You know, you're beating the odds on, especially on the 0-second plays, more often than it feels like it's possible.
Oh, there's one flip reset. There's two. And Rhyolite had that one sniffed out, though. Definitely used to seeing that kind of stuff. And Mystical still has a lot of boosts. That flip reset, that was a little desperate there, I think.
Yeah.
But it pans out because Rhyolite bit it. Had it all the way down court. Mystical able to follow that back up.
That feels like Mystical should have had the goal, or it should have been Rhyolite's goal, because Rhyolite, if he made any contact with the ball off of the net, I mean, there's no way Mystical get back in time. Like you said, it was a desperate reset, and I think it's just making the wrong move again. Having it bounce off of the net is great counterattack potential. Mystical should consider himself lucky. Oh, speaking of lucky, Rhyolite gets the lucky pitch. Doesn't get the touch. He's just too far away. And the ball just slowly sinks into the net for goal number 2.
This is a mirror image of how the first matchup started. Mystical getting an early lead here with 2 goals. And we got to see if Rhyolite is reading the last game's script or not.
That one hurts especially because Rhyolite for sure can get that save. I don't know what he was trying to do with it, but it was like something extra spicy to get distance. Maybe he was trying to hit it off the rim or the net or something. He was trying some spectacular play, but it definitely backfired here. But instead, he's going to have this one, putting it right over the top of Mystical. Is extra disrespect, but he will get his first goal.
And this is, and look at the placement here. This is tough to save no matter who you are. Like right in the front of the net like that. When you're retreating back on defense, it's just a super tough angle to try to make a save on, because you have to kind of navigate around the rim as you go for a save.
Yeah, I think he made the wrong move in trying to put that back out to the front of the net, because that was the one spot that Mystical was guarding, but he had to guard that point blank range. But I think a lot of players, it's a small mistake, like a tiny optimization kind of thing, putting it over into the opposite corner of the net rather than putting it to the front. Because from Rhyolite's angle, he could easily shoot that anywhere he wants. But I think, you know, further on, the Taibus and Pandas are going to easily punish those situations and be able to make the save rather than letting the ball drop in right above their head. Oh, there we go. Rhyolite's able to get on the board again, tying things up here after a minute and a half just by taking it right off the net.
And yeah, Rolf, the hoops knowledge there, you're right. Like those little optimizations, although in this lobby right here, they're not going to be punished, but there are players that have way more reps in hoops, like Panda and Taibu, that are going to be able to make those saves.
Yeah,
just good call there.
Mystical with a tip-off win. Not much to say about that. He didn't even need a double jump after it, but it's really rare that you get a tip-off goal, and 1v1 is a little bit more common. But I think that means that Rhyolite might be a little bit more, yeah, both of these players now kind of faking it, but that means that you might be more prone, if you think you're going to lose on the tip-off, you might be more prone to just try to fake it. Instead, that's going to be right off the net. Rhyolite taking the straight shot, needs to go for the bump next, goes up for the shot. I don't know about that. Mystical having a tiny window of opportunity there to save it, capitalizes on it, turns it around for a shot, and it's so close.
That was an incredible save by Mystical. Yeah. I did not think that was even possible to get to, and based off of how Rhyolite was playing, I don't think he did either. Oh. And great
That's so
placement.
Sneaky.
Look at the patience by Mystical here.
I'm shocked he had a flip.
He holds on to this.
Yeah, he flips here in the weirdest way. He's like, instead of like hitting it, he like got to the ball and then pushed it. But yeah. right around Rhyolite. Rhyolite's expecting, I don't know, some sort of hit to the backboard, double touch, and Mystical played off of those fears to get goal number 4. Now Mystical really poised to get his first game victory. Remember, Rhyolite won the first one, so that would take it to game 3 if Mystical could just hold on here. Uh-oh. This is a good start for him.
That is not good by Rhyolite. Never mind. No. That is not how Rhyolite plays right there. He's got to have a better transition than that.
Even if he landed right on the ground, there's probably no time for him to get there. But yeah, it's so painful to clonk right into the rim, fall to the ground after getting stuck. It just takes the wind out of your sails. And another fake. This time it just goes straight in. Chalk another one up to not faking on the tip-off. Rhyolite, it's like 3 for 3 now. Rhyolite not faking and the Mystical going for it.
Hater, Rolf.
Only from the corners. Not from the middle of the net. Yeah, I think those are good. I think the ones out on the wings are bad. And I swear to you, the numbers prove it.
Yeah, we need to get like a statistician to calculate all this. Ball chasing needs to update for hoops stuff like this.
People don't go for the corner tip-offs. People fake that because they're afraid, not because they think it's a good move. Ooh, the reset actually goes in. I heard a touch. Definitely, Psyonix said, you got it, and then said, psych, it's going in anyway. But a great reset.
Yeah, oh my
it was going up.
That, even in the replay, that looked like that was going back out of the net. Normally, you don't see that.
Yeah, because we're spectators. I think that spectators get like an additional like server smoothing. Like we don't get so many rubber bands, but the players experience it all. But that one was so bad.
Using that flip reset to just get, I mean, this is what I advocate for. Those kickoffs where you get the reset, you get to the ground quickly, and you can use that little bit of a wave dash to get enough momentum to get those kind of pop shots right there. Or the kickoffs that I am prone to. I haven't changed my kickoff. I either boop or I do that exact kickoff right there.
Yeah, I do like it a lot. And Mystic's going to be set up here for the shot. Nice save from Rhyolite. I thought that was going to go off the rim and just go straight in, given his angle, but he managed to get that save, dig it out. But yeah, the resets I do think are really strong. You know what makes it all feel worth it is if you can land on the ground with that reset and then wave dash into the player that just took the tip off. That is an amazing feeling. It's so rare to happen, but it makes it all feel worth it. But yeah, it is a strong tip-off. You usually do lose that against a player that's just going to slam it really hard, but you're hoping that the recovery gets you back into the game faster.
Yeah. And you use that little burst of speed to kind of steer where you need to go.
Yeah. Mystical's probably got this.
Game mode, but why did they make it look like 2 toilets facing each other? Well, now
I can't unsee that now.
Be able to unsee that. Yeah. Yep. Great. That's just forever going to be burned into my mind. Thank
Great.
you.
Perfect. Oh yeah, and then
oh my gosh, you know what?
you gotta drop the ball
there.
in. Oh my gosh. The splash sound, it totally changes that goal explosion now for me, the splash.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on. We got to get Swaggles or somebody in here to design a toilet.
Yeah, we need a flush handle on the side. Oh my
God.
holy smokes. That's terrible.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I thought that was
Another
going to go
tip-off
rim
fake.
in.
Mystical is just he's never taken one of those corner tip-offs, and Rhyolite knows that he's trying to full exploit it, but he's only found like once or twice a way to get through that, but it does feel like a massive advantage for Rhyolite. Mystical, no doubt, feels like he's pretty smug, going for that 100 boost, feels like he could save anything, but I think he has yet to see what kind of dangers the players can throw at him. That just goes barely around him. Rhyolite's back in this. I said 20 seconds ago, Mystical's got this game in the bag. Rhyolite making me eat those words.
Play. Nasty play by Rhyolite. Keeping that close, getting that pop right over Mystical. And now all of a sudden, 7-6 with a minute left is definitely winnable.
Oh, Mystical has won a couple of tip-offs as well, but I thought that one looked like it was going to be a guaranteed goal for Mystical. The net shutting things down early, saving Rhyolite from that kind of 2-goal lead that Mystical could have had. But Rhyolite still, with 50 seconds, gets bumped. But he's set up here to go for the dribble. If he gets this goal, that's huge. He cannot get the reset he needs. And so he has to just lock things down. But he's managed to take the boost away from Mystical yet again, taking the pot shot. Mystical should be able to save this, but that means the boost situation could be bad. He does fill up. I'm shocked that Rhyolite didn't try to punish that. Instead, he does. Never mind. Rhyolite ties it up, taking the boost in the mid and then pushing it over to the opposite side with whatever touch that is.
Angle shot. Yeah, that was very, very improvisational there by Rhyolite.
Yeah.
That is the exact touch he needed to apply pressure to Mystical and to clear the rim too, because as we talked about, like if you hit that into the net, it automatically clears it for your opponent. And so that was a very he needed to have that exact touch.
You ever see like
what a steal,
like Dragon Ball Z, where like a character like teleports behind somebody and then like hits him? Like that's what it feels like just happened to Mystical. Rhyolite hit the ball over the backboard. Mystical's like, okay, I'll just go slow and go after this, and then Rhyolite teleports behind him and dunks the ball in long before Mystic even had any idea of what's going on. So that might be overtime here unless Mystical's got some sort of dribble play, lifts it up, goes right back down to the ground, but he's gonna keep this ball lifted up for one more shot. Rhyolite is in a different area code. Where did he go? The net totally undefended. Mystical takes it on the buzzer beater. We're going to game 3.
Wow. All right, guys, first game 3. Get the applause out. We've got ourselves a series. Man, man's got the ice. Mystical taking a game off Rhyolite. And man, that was I thought if that went to OT, I definitely thought Rhyolite was gonna he had the momentum going his way. And I think he just got too confident there and allowed the opening for Mystical.
Yeah, so game 3 from 2 extremely close games. It wasn't the first game also just a single goal that decided it, so
yeah, 2-3.
It's a coin toss. I do like Rhyolite's I think that he's been playing better overall, especially with the tip-off stuff, with some of the creativity he's had coming out. Mystical, though, his accuracy, I guess, is what's keeping him still keeping this game close and able to take these counterattacks too. Mystical's counterattacks been super strong, so if he just holds on to defense, can get a good block away from Rhyolite, he just scores just like this. 15 seconds in, Mystical's up.
Does anybody in the chat know Mystical what team he was on? Because to get that blue title, you had to, I believe, get top 32 in RLCS.
I don't know.
I want to say. So yeah, I'm trying to remember who else he's played with. All right, Rhyolite's got an opening here, not able to connect. That is one he's going to want back for sure.
That one hurts a lot.
Mystical does it.
Rhyolite had 24 boosts there to try to make that shot work. He just flopped away from it, but he's going to have a great opportunity here if he can dunk it straight down. Doesn't get the touch. Does he need it? It's out. Wow. Steals away the full boost, but, you know, you much would have rather had that goal. The demo, though, could open things up. He's going to center this. Mystical immediately jumps after it, spawning on the correct side to try to block this.
Fastest spawn ever.
Yeah. I think that's the 1 of 4 chance to spawn in the correct position to immediately block that. If he spawns anywhere else, I don't think he can get there.
Very well played by Mystical. Oh, that is a miss. And Rhyolite trying to keep this one close, not trying to clear it for Mystical. Rhyolite's got a full case of boost here and a ton of space. Well,
yeah,
let's see if he's gonna.
Mystic just lets him have it.
A lap around Dunk House or the block.
Oh, it's is it out? Mystical can have it.
Wow,
a crazy shot.
Yeah, Rhyolite's had a couple shots do exactly this.
Oh, that boost take is going to be huge for Rhyolite. Mystical should back off here. Him getting the bump means he's going to have the boost, but if Rhyolite can take this all the way across, he's going to be in a great spot here to push it down. What a save! Mystical from underneath. You know he rushed all the way back. He left that corner boost. I just noticed as the camera panned around. He went straight back. It seemed to be the exact right call. What wisdom here from the Mystical. But Rhyolite's going to push the center again. The shooting continues until finally the dunk comes down on top of Mystical. That ties it up 1-1.
Just resilience here from Rhyolite to get this goal. I mean, he was putting on a clinic on offense, but Mystical's defense was incredible. Great positioning, and not only that, the way he got the saves just set himself up with enough time to get back and get more boost. But Rhyolite perseveres and grabs that goal anyways.
Oh, he's in a dangerous spot here too with the reset. Pushes it over, but Mystical goes right back to the wall. Do you see him 180 turn to the back wall to dig that one out? What unbelievable foresight, knowing exactly how Rhyolite's going to shoot that at the exact last second before it gets to the rim. Rhyolite, though, going to push that one through. No boost needed. He's just fast enough to get there just in time to get past Mystical, and that is going to be the lead here for Rhyolite going into the second half.
Yeah, and this is the first time he's had the lead since game 1.
Yeah.
And so let's see if he can hold on to this now. Mystical has been showing us just how good he can be on defense.
Oh.
And let's see, Rhyolite's got a ton of boost to work with here. Mystical's gonna have, yeah, if you're Mystical, that's exactly what you do. You go down the court, you take all those 100 boosts away from him, so the options of your opponents become pretty slim as they have to go back.
Yeah, how many times has he scored off of that already? Like just stealing away all the boost, making Rhyolite take a shot that he doesn't like, and then Mystical just punishes it with a counterattack. It's definitely a winning strategy. He's going to try to bait Rhyolite in here, burning all of his boost. Rhyolite goes up in the air a second time. Mystical continues to fake it out, gets the bump too, takes him out, and it's tied 2-2 with 2:02 on the clock.
That was just like a standoff here, just staring at each other. You know what the play is going to be. And Rhyolite tried to pre-jump it. Mystical eventually goes, and I mean, just nicks the front of Rhyolite's car.
Wow.
This is, yeah.
That's way more power than Mystical expected. That pinch went all the way across the court. So that gives the ball right to Rhyolite. Now, pinches are so finicky that you never know exactly how far that's going to go. You want to use it more as a last resort to take a shot that you want to get extra power on it, but occasionally you have to use that to push your dribble through. But you run that risk of giving the ball away. Rhyolite, oh, that's the worst kind of bounce, or is it? He's going to set himself up here, getting triple touch, bumping Mystical out of the way, but it's not on target yet. Rhyolite needs to stay away from the back wall if he can. Mystical can just be patient and try to push this counterattack again, filling up on full boost, pushing to the backboard, going for the bump. Rhyolite goes right over it.
Wow, I cannot believe that last goal didn't go in from Rhyolite. I mean, he did everything on there. And wait, he might be able to get back in time for this. That's going to be a soft shot from Mystical, and not enough time.
No.
Good recovery here, but Mystical just had to put down any sort of shot.
You know what? I think it was possible. I think Rhyolite was holding gas when he touched the rim. I think if he was holding reverse, he would have gone to the ground much faster. I mean, it would have saved like half a second, but that's all he needed.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. And also Mystical getting in the way there, slowing him down.
Mystical is just, he's aware of all Rhyolite's tricks now, it feels like. Rhyolite's going to need some brand new tricks or counterattacks. Counterattacks are good too, but that just doesn't go through. Mystical's counterattacks, on the other hand, it just feels like they never miss, and he's going to prove that right now. Mystical taking the 2-goal lead in the final minute.
Yeah, Rhyolite kind of, did he get bumped here, or was he just trying to, I think he might have been trying to dodge Mystical, and that was all he needed. That counterattack too easy.
Yeah.
Did you see the glitch in the item shop? Yes, I did, which you guys didn't see. You support, wait, is you guys a supporter creator code RingToops?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, you support creator code RingToops or TryHouse. Psyonix made an oopsie and put like $30 worth of items in the shop for 200 credits.
Oh, wow, what a steal.
Yeah. Here we go. Rhyolite, 36 seconds left. Trying to hold on to this. Gets him to bite. But I don't know if he's going to have enough momentum to get back on for a bump. And Mystical can just play the play clock here.
Yeah.
Oh, good beat by
Rhyolite's got
Rhyolite.
lots
Might
of
have a
boost.
shot right off
The bump. Wow. Mystical laying hands on Rhyolite. Gives him the opportunity as well to redirect that 90 degrees over to the opposite corner. 3-goal lead. It looked real grim for Mystical, but Rhyolite deciding to go to the middle was his downfall. He's out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, Rhyolite said GG's. He knows it's over. 3 goals.
Yeah.
In 18 seconds. You know, maybe against a different player, but Mystical was looking hot there.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Mystical with punishes was the name of the game, I think. Rhyolite, whenever he got the opportunity to try to make a shot, that was like a real big stretch. Like, your odds of making the shot might be really low. Rhyolite would take it anyway, and Mystical was just able to use that to punish him over and over again on counterattacks.
Yeah, he should have adapted a little bit more to that, because that's exactly how he lost that game 3 was, I don't even know how many of those goals were counterattacks, but it was like anytime Rhyolite put a shot down and it wasn't a threat on net, that was going that way every time.